mentioned the tale of two halves on Saturday after the game. Just now, sort of a couple days removed after watching film, just what are the biggest takeaways that you draw from the Washington State game?
Well, the biggest takeaways is exactly what you just said, is the first half and the second half. If you look at the first half on how we break down our plan to win, which you've all seen, or many of you have seen, it's right there in the team room, and it's in the locker room, and it's in the coaches' offices, and we didn't hit one of those plan to win goals in the first half. In the second half, we hit every one of them. And if you go 0 for on the plan to win, you got problems. Secondly, we were able to make some aggressive plays, and even some in the first half, which was great to see. A blocked punt, an onside kick that went our way, kicked a deep field goal. We did some of those things in an aggressive standpoint that allowed us to that shows progress to me. We executed in key situations in moments and made a play when we absolutely had to, so that was good. They kept fighting in the second half. Defensively, the difference is we tackled. We covered better in times. We played the edges of the defense better. Yes, all those things are true, but then ultimately we tackled so much better. And tackling is, it's three things really. It's athletic ability, it's strength, and it's technique. And we need to put all three of those together to get us in a spot to be able to be good tacklers. And it also has to do with the guys that you're tackling. But we got better in the second half for sure.
You said after the game that it's risky business right now with how much Seth has been running the ball. How do you continue to manage that with him physically? Got dinged up for a little bit in the Arizona game, got dinged up on Saturday. Just how do you sort of balance that, since that is such a key part of his game too? Yeah,
it is a key part. And to me, it's the planned runs are the good runs. Those are the ones where there's, I don't know, I have percentages in front of me, but I think a quarterback running a planned run play is much safer than having a free hitter come off the edge and hit him in the back of the head on a sack. So those opportunities are planned opportunities. The scrambles and all the things that are out there are even a little bit more concerning for me. So how do we manage that? We need to take some strides forward on offense. We need to continually be as creative as we can and aggressive as we can, and find a way to play with a different style as needed. We need to get more production out of the offense. And when we look at that and we say that, it's so easy for one person to say, well, that's just the quarterback's not playing well, and that's not true. It's this group of people. It's 11 guys on the field. And do we get more production out of the quarterback? And do we want more? Yes. Do we want more out of the wide receivers? Yes. Running backs? Yes. So on and so forth. So, we'll be strategic and do everything we can and strategically move through the best kids on the roster to give them an opportunity to play too. So, we are where we are. So we'll keep flipping it around, maybe see a few different things on Saturday.
In the position you're in, to get to the point where you want it to be, is it more about the talent, or does at some point have to be a belief that they can just start winning, or is it just kind of a combination of both of those?
I would say it's a combination. The number one most important thing to win in football games is talent. You have to be able to be talented, and then on top of that you want to be experienced, and then on top of that you want to be able to, or I guess underneath that, you want to be able to have the young kids in your program understand or learn from the right people to take steps quickly to be able to play, or why I'm not ready to play, or wow, I really do need a red shirt, or I'm not ready to be out on the field in that position yet. And that's there's some transitions that we're going through, and there's still, weekly there's some amazing things that, I guess if I ever wrote a head coach's pamphlet on how I would do things or things to look out for, there's something every week that comes up here that's not in my book. So it's as crazy as it is, it's where we're at, and we continue to work through it. And the good thing is the kids they'll take the education. And they really will. So, but that's important for us to be able to. We have to recruit at the highest level to be able to compete at this level. If you don't have talent, it doesn't matter what you drop. It doesn't matter what your schemes are, offense, defense, special teams. It's at the end of the day, the team that are the most talented and coached the right way, then you have a good chance.
When you look at the secondary, there were obviously a lot of changes there on Saturday, partly because of performance, partly because of injury. What do you kind of make of that position group right now, halfway through the season?
Yeah, You're right. It's been because of injury, and it's also been because of performance, and quite frankly, really trying to get kids in positions to go. If you take a young man like Cyril is a very, very talented kid, and it's always your job as a coach to put a kid in the best position that he can possibly be. Cyril was a safety. He was a safety when we came here, and he's been playing safety. He moved more to some nickel last week and did some certain situations there and started to do some good things. As Cyril goes, we need to find the best place for him to be as the best DB he can be, because quite frankly, he runs well enough and he's big enough to be a corner. Is he going to be a corner as he moves forward? So it's, different kids have different skill sets, but he has a very special skill set because he is one of our fastest kids. And we want to get him in the spot. And just because a kid doesn't perform at one spot the way we want him to, it's not because, he doesn't want to. It's because it's maybe not the right fit, or it's if we can make it cleaner or better. So he's an example. Devin's kind of the same example. Devin, we moved from nickel back to play some safety. And, he feels a little more natural there. If you were to ask him that question, he would say, there's just a little farther away from the ball is better for me. But is that better for Cyril and Devin? We'll see as we move forward. But it's, we continually look at those pieces of those DBs, and the front is kind of the same, and you're going to see some of that stuff this week with who's going to play outside linebacker, who's going to play inside linebacker. It's just moving it around every week to try to help us against the opponent we're playing, number one, and trying to find a way to flat play better defense overall, because we're not anywhere near where we need to be to win games, let alone become a good team. Our leadership has still got a ways to go in a lot of different areas, so we're still leadership by coaches right now for the most part, and that's where we're at. That's the process we have to continue to work through and keep educating these kids. There's a few good leaders, but nowhere where we need to be. Secondly, I would say that the offense did make some strides. The problem is, I don't want to skip the good and go right to the bad, but we had 5 opportunities in the second half to score touchdowns, and we scored 1. As bad as we played in the first half, the defense came back, and we could have put something special together on defense and on offense if we could have just matched it. But we didn't. But was there some bright signs? Absolutely, yes. I thought we ran the ball better in some certain situations. We were able to make some plays. There was a couple plays we left out there, and it's all encompassing. It's just it doesn't fire on all cylinders. The play down the middle of the field to Billy, Jordan needs to make that play. He wants to make that play. We didn't make that play. We need to at least try to make that play. But there was some great individual efforts. And as you say that, I should say what we did on special teams, I thought was we flipped the game in our favor, which was great. We had a block punt. We had a kickoff return. We kicked a long field goal. We got an onside kick. Those are good signs, and proud of the kids they could execute those situations.